Okay, Access Skill 1.3. Your code word for this one will be yellow, the color yellow. And we're looking at using different views in Access. Basically what you're looking at here is a table. We saw this in the last lesson. We're looking at the books table. And you can view this table, the layout of it, in a couple of different ways. The one we're looking at here is the grid view, or the data sheet view, excuse me. And this is where we can see all the data. It's laid out kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. I could type data in here. Only in the data sheet view can you add data into a table directly. You know, I could put my book in here and add some more stuff to it. Another view for the forms, and you can find all the views on the Home tab right here. If you click on the little arrow, you'll see the different views available. We're not going to talk much about the pivot stuff, but we do have the design view. In design view, let's skip that. In design view, you get to see the layout of your table. I get to see all the fields that I have in here. I don't get to see the actual data, but these are the different fields that are in there, and these are the different data types for them. So that's what you can use the design view for. It's a nice way to organize the structure of your table without actually doing anything with the data. We'll get into what the different data types are more as we go along. Let's go ahead and look at a query here. I'm just going to open this query. I open this query, it opens up in data sheet view. It returns me all the records that satisfy the query conditions. Again, go to the view, and I can also open it in SQL view. We won't really get into SQL, but if you want to go further with databases, it's a great skill to learn. But if I switch that, it shows me this is the query that's actually ran by Access to pull the data we're looking for. Again, you do not have to understand that at all, what this means, but that's just one of the views. If you do start to learn SQL, it's pretty handy. And then there's also the design view for a query as well, which you can see here, and we'll get into how to do this stuff more. But basically we can select the output and criteria for our query here in the design view. We don't get to see the results, but again we can do stuff with the design. Here we have some forms. I open a form and I open it up in form view. Right here I can see all of the data. I could even edit it. Maybe this book was actually, the author was not Anthony, it was Tony. I could change it in there. I can scroll through different books. We'll look at how to move through forms too. This is just the form view. Again, we look at the view. The other option with the form is the design view. And this is where I see how it's laid out. Maybe I don't want author right there. You know, I want to move it down here, which wouldn't make sense, but you can see how the design view works. This form's a little more complex than we'll get into, but this is where you can move things around. And the other one is, I don't see it here, but it's layout view. Layout view is where you get to see the actual data in your form, but you can change the design. You can't edit the data, but you can change the design by moving things around. Some things you can't always do in for or layout view that you need to go to the design view, and Access will let you know if that comes up. Another one, we don't have any here, but there's the report. So I'm going to try to quickly create a report. Just there we go. Okay, I have a report here, and this is the report view. Shows me the data just like the form view does. This is a report just showing me specific data that I've asked for in the format that I've given it. Again, with report we can go look at layout view. This is where I can see the data, but I'm really just moving things around. And then again, there's the design view. Again, you don't have to know what all this means. We'll get into it a little more as we start to get into more of the Access lessons. That's basic views that you have. Remember the different views and use them as you're creating forms and reports and queries and tables in Access. Again, I gave you the code word already, so we're good.